And then I liked the location. I liked the atmosphere.
Well, that's the great thing with Full Moon, with them going overseas and getting these real, authentic locations and stuff. Even with the subspecies stuff, with all of it,
my favorite.
Radu.
On this one, I love the rooms. I love the furniture. I love the housekeeper.
Yeah.
I just loved the authenticity of everything. And I liked the story, even though it was a sad story.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
So there's all the things I liked.
I would bring up one other thing really quick, and I'm trying not to do this because we're going to try to release a live and unedited episode here.
Oh, dear.
This was your idea. They talk about the Manitou, and I still need to see that. I talked about that early on in the podcast.
Who talks about the Manitou?
When Stuart Gordon, actually with Optic Nerve, when they were talking about the special effects for this movie, they bring up the fact that how tough it was doing a full body. I mean, a total head to toe. And they said like the only other movie they ever did, not the only one they ever did like that, but recently was like the Manitou.
Maybe in 1995 that was the...
Because I want to say
they didn't do a lot of them
the
yet.
Manitou was 86 or so. I don't know. Anyhow, there's a movie, The Manitou, and I brought it up on the podcast before because it's like the only horror movie that I never saw the last 5 minutes of it.
What the heck?
I was on punishment. I wasn't supposed to be watching the TV.
Oh my gosh.
So...
Like literally the last 5 minutes?
Literally, I did not see the last 5 minutes of this movie, and it's 20 years, 23 years, 25 years later.
You lousy little brat.
You know what? Here's the problem. My aunt disciplined me in lots of different ways. One of them was taking away TV privileges. The problem was she would take it away from 6 months at a time. How was that? Like, after 6 months, you get used to not ever seeing it. So who the hell cares? And it loses its effectiveness. And as soon as she would leave, I would fake being sick and stay home, and she'd go off to church meetings or whatever, and I'd sit there with the TV. And so about
you are a brat.
10:30 at night, she's passed on, my dear aunt. I love her dearly.
She did such a great job raising you.
She did a fair to middling job raising me.
She did a great job raising you. I wouldn't be married to you if you weren't so wonderful. She did a great job.
About 10:30 at night or whatever, down our deserted road in the woods, I see headlights coming.
Oh, crap.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to unplug the TV, wrap it back up, and hope that she doesn't come in here and put her hand on the back of the TV.
I was going to say she didn't feel it to see if it was warm, because that's what my parents
I got busted a couple of times because of that.
Yeah.
And I needed that cool down time, and it was too late. It was so intense. The lights, I see them coming. I had to make the choice to shut it off.
Well,
I never got busted for it that time. I need to see that movie.
Why don't we put that on our list and do that one soon? We'll do the Manitou, and you can see the ending.
Man, this episode is all over, off the tracks. Anyhow.
It's almost all over.
It's almost all over.
Well, people can hear what happens before you edit. They get... This is a kind of stuff.
I think I'm going to have to
meander all over the place.
I'm going to have to make at least one cut, but not a cut. I'll cut out silence. That's what I'll cut out. But
okay.
I'll leave the rest of it intact, and for better or worse, thank you all for listening. Thank you to our patrons, and thanks to those of you that have stuck with. I miss this. I don't know if you know that. You know this because I talk about it every now and then.
What do you miss?
I miss talking to them. It's been a little while because I haven't done an episode. We've had things happening at the speed of life that just interfere and stuff here and there, and I appreciate Lonely Bob understanding that, and other people, but this is really my therapy. I appreciate those people that listen and lurk, and just the fact that people even tune in amazes me, and we're grateful for that. And where am I going? I don't know. Hold this.
Okay. Just so I don't hit the off button.
Right.
Are we done talking about the movie?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do the Crawling Chaos.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but this is silence, and so I'm going to cut all that out.
Next up is Crawling Chaos, then.
No, next up is Garbage In, Garbage Out. But
why are you working on the...
I just had to check. Well, you weren't supposed to talk to me while I was doing it.
Oh, well, hurry.
Ugh.
Are you going to put a musical interlude right here or something?
This is supposed to be the silence I'm cutting out.
Oh.
Stop talking to me. Stop making that face.
I'm not making a face.
I'm sure you are. You're probably showing me a finger too, aren't you?
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're taking forever. You should just fill the silence in with music.
I don't have to. There's no silence. You keep talking. Garbage in, garbage out. Did you have anything to add?
Garbage in, garbage out?
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. Do we want to talk about Enders?
Finally, yes.
Ender Saga.
The third book of Ender Saga. There's 4. Xenocide.
Best book ever?
Man, that was rough. I was like, oh, this is just never ending. No, it was terrible. And like a lot of people would hate me for saying that. And after looking at reviews online,
you know what? It's
either you love it or you hate it.
Yes.
It was a philosophy book.
Yeah.
And I think I talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago when I said I was starting Xenocide.
Right.
I'm done now. It never
got any better.
Very light on story, very light on sci-fi, very light on science or anything interesting. Not that philosophy isn't interesting, but I was looking for a good sci-fi story.
Okay.
Xenocide should be required reading for college philosophy classes. It's all in there.
Okay.
Your ethics are in there. Your logic is in there. Your theology is in there. Everything you want to know about morality and doing the right thing and existentialism, and I mean it was mind numbing. It was mind numbing, and I love
bottling.
It was mind bottling. I love all those topics, but I was not looking for a philosophy book. And the author, Orson Card.
Well, right
did
there,
I say his name
you
right?
did, yes. Right there, it's divisive. Anyhow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people just hate him.
Right.
Hate him for his politics. Hate him for his religious views.
I hate how he put this saga together.
Okay.
Because each one was a separate thing, and he just mashed them together to do a trilogy. And then the third one was so stinking long, Xenocide, that he had to do Children of the Mind, which I'm reading and trying to get through.
Yeah.
I'm a couple chapters in, and it already has more story, at least, than Xenocide.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish it. I committed to finishing it.
Okay.
But he said in an interview that Xenocide was, like, he wanted to do a philosophical, talky story. Talky in quotes.
Yeah.
It's very talky.
Did he
and
accomplish
it's very
his goal?
Oh, he did.
Okay.
He gets a gold star. It's a yeah. So when you look at reviews online, it seems like it's either you love it or you hate it. People are like, wow, that was really thought-provoking and so philosophical. And then other people were like, where the hell were the spaceships and the aliens are in there. They're not doing anything, though. They're all just sitting around talking and pondering life. And
maybe it's better we didn't get a Ender trilogy then. Though, I would have hoped that they did Ender's Shadow or whatever.
Oh, you mean movie-wise?
Yeah,
There's nothing to... Though, actually, if you distilled if you took the story out of those 2 books, you could probably make a movie.
You know, here's the benefit that I got out of that then was, because I'm familiar with them, generally familiar, I would say now. It's one of the few times that I got an abridged series.
Right.
So when I first heard Ender's Game, Xenocide, and Speaker for the Dead, they were abridged down to 2 hours.
Wow.
2 solid hours. And maybe that's how you would enjoy it best. And maybe they could have streamlined the movies into
you'd get then you'd get the story instead of all the lesson and philosophy.
Okay.
Oh, man, it was rough.
All right. Well, other than that, there really isn't much to talk about. Because, again, we're still watching the same TV shows.
We're
Nothing
so boring.
really new. You started playing Pikmin again.
Yes, I'm playing Pikmin again. Because it never gets old.
Yeah.
I'm playing Pikmin 2 this time.
All right.
We're all caught up on Walking Dead, which is nice.
Yeah.
We're all caught up on Z Nation. Oh, no, there's one. There's this Fridays. Can we watch that when we're done here?
Maybe.
I love Z Nation. It's my show. Which I know I've said 100 times I don't like comedy with my horror. Go figure. Z Nation is the most awesome show on TV. And we're all caught up with American Horror Story Cult.
Uh-huh.
So these are the new things that we've been, new but not new, that we've been watching.
Right.
So there's not a lot to say, I guess, about any of those.
Yeah. Probably not a lot to say about my Crawling Chaos here either.
Oh, well, let's move into that.
Okay.
Musical interlude.
So for Crawling Chaos...
You're going to talk about... Oh, I saw that article in front of you, and I'm like, you're going to talk about Trump and North Korea?
No. I'm going to leave that to...
That's like the opposite.
I'm going to leave that to At Lonely Bob. He can commentate on that. You can go to his
Well, you and I
blog
discuss these things at length, but we don't on the show.
No, we keep anything like that separate. This is supposed to be entertainment.
Yes.
The entertainment, however, in this case, it's entertaining only in that it comes from the Wall Street Journal. And it was given to me by my boss during my day job.
Okay.
Like I have this... Anyhow, yeah, my day job. He came in and he's like, hey, I have something for you to cover on your podcast. Not that he is in any way aware of the podcast that we do. I mean, he's only aware of it because I'm doing a podcast for the job now.
Right. For Mobile, the home mobility store.
Well, yeah, anyhow...
there will be a link in the show notes.
No. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, so I'm trying to get them to do a podcast at work. I've been there 4.5 years now.
Right.
I'm trying to get them to do... nobody here cares about that.
No.
But it was an introduction. He's learned a lot by what we do with this podcast.
Okay.
And so we're going to do a more serious actual business podcast.
He knows that you do a horror movie review.
He knows, exactly.
Okay, so he approached you with this Wall Street Journal and said, here's an article for you to talk about on your podcast.
These people love horror movies, they just never watch them.
Okay.
So it's...
Lay it on us.
There's nothing much to lay on, just the fact that the movies like It have gotten so much hype about them that people are going to see it. It goes back to what you talked about a couple weeks ago. The fact that people are learning about this movie. They're hearing about Stephen King for the first time. This whole thing is blowing up. It's become something different.
Right.
That a lot of people are going to be drawn into this.
So what is the article?
It's right here. I'll let you read it.
What's it called?
I just read it to you.
I thought you were making a statement. The article is literally called, These People Love Horror Movies, They Just Never Watch Them.
Exactly.
I thought you were talking about Wayne and his wife or something.
No.
So I was like, okay, this is going in an interesting direction.
No, that's it. That's all the interest that is to it. The only thing that I have to add to it is the fact that I'm riding to work this morning and I'm thinking about... I'll see if I can post a link to it, or maybe I'll just photocopy it. It'll be in the show notes, or you can go to the page on Facebook and click on it. Maybe I'll just photocopy the whole article and put it up. But anyhow, that was.
Okay, this is kind of interesting, actually, because it's. I mean, I just dove right into the middle of the article and read a sentence or two. And it has somebody saying, I want to know what the story is. I don't want the story told to me necessarily. But it's like, it sounds like they want to know. This tells me that people like to hear a scary story, but like they don't want to sit down and give 2 hours or an hour and a half of their life to watching this thing.
Right.
But like I think about how, back to campfire stories or urban legends, or just like I remember being a kid, I was not allowed to watch horror movies because they were 17 and older, right?
Right.
Obviously I couldn't see one until I was 17.
No, that never happened.
But no. But I couldn't wait for my